Okay, it's 5 o'clock on Monday, March 18th, and we will call this regular city council meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone, and please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Here.
Brad?
Here.
Rodney?
Here.
Jessica? Here. Donna?
Here. I would entertain a motion to approve today's agenda. Second. Motion from Harley, second from Brad. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Here.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Donna?
Yes. Motion carried. Across the mayor's desk, just want to thank Jacob Shutter, he's our videographer again this evening, so thank you very much. And that's all I have, unless the council has anything that they would like to share. Okay, hearing none, we will move to an update from Jacob, our city administrator.
Just a few items regarding seasonal positions. So we've got job postings online, or as well as you can stop in here at City Hall for a number of spots. So lifeguards, pool managers, assistant managers, as well as in the public works and parks departments, seasonal summer help. So we're still accepting applications for all those. And then we're also advertising for a part-time dispatch officer. So this notice was posted earlier this month and will be open until filled to help fill some of those shifts at the LAC.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item number 7 is the citizens' opportunity to address the council with any item that's not on the agenda. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Okay, seeing no one, then we will move to the consent agenda, and that includes approving the minutes from our March 4th work session and regular session. Approve the bills to be paid this cycle, approve the department reports as well as the minutes from various boards and commissions that have met, and approve a Class E retail alcohol license for Chib LEC, which is the Akron shop. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley, second from Don. Any discussion? Roll call, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Donna?
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Agenda item number 9 is a public hearing. It's 5:04, and I'll open that public hearing regarding the wastewater treatment facility improvement project.
Yes, this is a public hearing on the proposed plan, specification, form of contract, and cost estimate for the 2024 wastewater treatment improvement project. Kevin Graves, engineer with WHKS, is here with us to provide a little bit more background on the project.
Thanks, Jacob. And the background on our wastewater treatment plant project is that we've talked about this over time, but we'll reiterate that a couple of the main drivers for doing this project now. One is that the state of Iowa, at the behest of the EPA, is requiring nutrient reduction strategy for you to be able to remove nitrogen and phosphorus from your wastewater. And the current plant and its condition is suited well for the treatment that it can do, but it cannot do that nitrogen and phosphorus removal treatment. So we'd be changing the treatment process from a fixed film treatment process that you currently have with trickling filters to an activated sludge treatment process that is more apt to be able to biologically reduce the nitrogen and phosphorus in your wastewater to help the Gulf hypoxia issue that the state is requiring you to address. The other main driver on the project is just the age and condition of your equipment. There are quite a few pieces of equipment at the plant that have seen their better days, if you will. They're starting to really have issues with maintenance costs and the costs and the work that the operators need to do down at the plant is increasing over time and will continue to get worse. So the timing for the regulations from the DNR and replacing aging equipment work well together to perform this project now. We'd be looking at this occurring over the course of the next 3 years, so 24, 25, and then in 26 would be the completion of the project. It's pretty extensive in that we'd be taking things offline, putting new things online, and making sure that we're still meeting the current treatment limits that the DNR has required for you throughout the process. So I can handle any other specific questions. I will refrain from going line by line through our 247 pages of plans and sheets that we have for the project, but I'd be happy to answer any specific questions that anyone has.
We've talked a lot over the past few months, years.
Thank you for your work on this. Okay, and we haven't heard anything from the public,
Not specifically this notice.
okay? Okay, it is 5:08, and I will close the public hearing, and we'll move to old business, agenda item number 10, and that's to award bid for the Emerald Ash Borer tree removal.
2 weeks ago, when we were here, we were discussing the bids for the Emerald Ash Borer. At that time, Tony with AJ's Tree Service had pointed out, or he brought in his registration with the state and asked if we had one from D&J. At that time, I did not. We researched, I contacted D&J. He has since provided his state registration. It is our opinion, D&J was the lowest apparent bid because we were considering total bids, not cost per DBH, diameter of breast height. So it is our recommendation we award the bid to D&J Tree Service.
So when the bid packets were put in, because I was reading some of the information we covered last week, or 2 weeks ago, February 22nd was when the bids were due. Nobody at that point had their proof that they were licensed through the state.
We did not require a bid opening. We required an insurance certificate of bid
Well,
opening.
it does say
but not-
here, only bids from licensed contractors authorized to work in the state of Iowa will be considered.
Right, and that's the exact same
So
language
they
we
did
had
not
last year.
provide that information?
Nobody did.
Okay. Thanks. Because that changes my opinion.
I should say no one provided it with their bid. Tony gave me his 2 weeks ago right before the council meeting.
Okay.
But in general, on, some of our larger projects, this typically applies to subcontractors, but it's not uncommon that after projects are awarded, a contractor has to get registered with the state so they can do a city project. That's something we frequently have to have people do if they don't typically do the municipal type of work.
I'll make a motion to award the bid to DJ's Tree
I got
Service.
a question, again, a statement?
You want to come up and
You bet I do. Okay, okay. I'll be up there
yeah,
first.
just introduce yourself so
Yes, I
the
will.
camera knows.
My name is Jim Schmidt, Whittemore. The way I understand it, it said you had to have a contractor's license at the time the bid was submitted. Yes or no?
No, it said only registered contractors will be considered. Their bids will be considered.
Okay,
It
so,
did not require it at the time of bid.
okay,
The
so,
insurance certificate was required with the bid, nothing else.
okay, so he didn't have a contractor's license. Is this true?
I do not know.
Neither did DJ.
No one supplied the contractor license at the time of bid, sir.
I did supply a photo that it was already submitted to the state prior to the opening.
You didn't give it to me, Tony, is what
I
I'm
gave it to
saying.
Mary. She was, I thought.
No,
it was
you gave
supplied
me
to
the
you.
insurance certificate.
I didn't have it. I had already sent it in. That was just waiting to be
You
processed.
gave me your registration with the state
Yes.
2 weeks ago, right before the council meeting.
Yes.
You gave Mary your insurance certificate, which was required. And
Correct.
yes, you did.
I also.
D&J had their insurance certificate also.
Right. I'm not arguing that at all. But I'm just saying, like, I had already sent mine in and for renewal. Since I've been a registered contractor since 16.
Okay.
So I'm registered every year with the state, which I brought up at the last meeting. You know, that I was, as far as I know, the only registered contractor or tree service in the state, or Cassup County, that's been registered for the last almost 8 years. So I hadn't, a piece of paperwork fell through the cracks, and I was making Mary aware that it was in transit prior to the opening. And then it came through the mail, and that's why I brought it to council members at the time. I mean,
So you're saying they didn't have to produce it at the time of the bid?
Not at the bid opening. This is the
Okay.
bid consideration now. The council will award the bid now.
That's fine, so they were supposed to have it in order to bid. Is that correct?
It said only those registered will be considered.
Well,
They are considering the bids now.
yes, but only those that were registered were going to be considered. That's what you just said. So if the contractor license wasn't there at that time, the bid shouldn't even have been opened.
Well, I have to open the bid to see what's in it. So you're saying it wasn't presented at the time, so we shouldn't be considering
When did
Tony's
he have the
either.
license?
We should
When was the
reject
license
everything and
issued?
go back to bid.
When was the license
I
issued?
don't have that information.
Well, let's find it. Dylan, when was the license issued?
I have to look back in there. It was
Huh?
March 6th.
Is it on there? Yeah.
So was that prior to the bid letting or after?
It's, well, for bid consideration, not the bid letting, not the bid opening,
Okay.
for bid
Excuse
consideration, which the council is currently considering the bids. We opened the bids, we tallied the bids with the bid tab, we supplied that information to the city council for their consideration.
When was this meeting?
It's now.
No, when was this other?
We tabled it, we tabled
Yeah.
it at our previous council session because AJ brought in information, brought in more information.
Okay, when was the original done?
Oh, let me look, I don't recall when we opened bids.
22nd of February is when they were
22nd of
at
what?
9 o'clock. February.
Of February. So that license was not issued until the 6th of March, is that correct? Then it should not even been considered, is all I'm saying. And so,
Well, hold on, let me find. Tony, what's the date on yours?
it should be on the certificate that you have in your possession.
I got it right here. Issued 2/27/24.
what was?
His license was issued, Tony's license was issued, date issued 2/27/24.
What license was this, Tony?
Contractor's license.
Yeah, but you always had it.
Correct, that was the renewal.
That was the renewal.
Well, I understand that, but you're asking date of issue, so if we're gonna,
Well, okay.
if we're
that
gonna
was
compare
when they
Dylan's
renewed
date of
the
issue to
paper, I
Tony's
guess.
date of
Well,
issue.
you're, okay. So the original contractor's license was 2016,
Yes.
I don't have that, so I
You
do
don't
not
need
know
it.
that.
but he's got proof that he had a license, and this was renewal, that's the date you're looking at.
Nowhere on the certificate says it's renewed. It just says date issued and date expires and the registration number.
So then, the way I look at it, was the bid letting, was that bid letting altered? In that they were supposed to have a contractor's license at that time, that,
Let me pull it up and I will give you the exact wording of what it says.
Okay. I'd appreciate that.
It says, oh, right there, only bid from licensed contractors authorized to work in the state of Iowa will be considered. They are considering the bids tonight.
Oh, I thought they considered the bids a month ago.
No, I opened the bids, we did the bid tab, the council is the one considering the bids and awarding the bid tonight. They were gonna do it 2 weeks ago, till Tony brought up the issue about the contractor license or registration. We gave Dylan time to produce his,
Okay,
so it was tabled until tonight.
okay,
Now,
so,
they are considering the bids.
okay, so in the same token, Tony made a mathematical error, is this true?
I believe so, yes.
Yes. So with the mathematical error that was made, we all have made them, can there be a reconsideration on his bid with the mathematical error?
Well, that question should be directed towards the council. They're
That's
the
true.
ones that are
That's
making
true.
this decision.
You know, so
When we
I
look
mean,
at-
we've all made mistakes and that's okay. And they caught it the night of the opening, is that
Of the
correct?
day of the opening, because I
That was
was looking at
caught.
Tony and Dylan's bid. Dylan had $27 for DBH, Tony had $26.75. Tony's bid was higher, so we were trying to figure out why.
Why? Okay, so at that
Hey,
time, excuse me,
With the guy that put in the $123,000 bid,
I don't
is
know.
he in here tonight? Okay, maybe he made a mathematical error too. What we're taking a look at is the total of what it was put in. Once the bids were notified, or once the bids were announced, it's pretty easy to see that you might have made a mistake. Doesn't that make sense to you?
Well, so at the opening, you did not need a contractor's license, is all you're saying.
That's correct. Because no one produced it at the bid opening. No one.
Pardon me?
No one produced it at the bid opening. It had to be here for their consideration.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, you need a second, I'll second it so we can continue
Okay.
to discuss it.
We have a motion from Brad, a second from Rodney. Any further discussion?
I just want to say, I appreciate everybody's putting the bid in. I want to say AJ did a good job for us last year. I have no reason to believe DJ won't do a good job for us this year either. So, I will vote with the lowest bid that came in, and that would be DJ's. So, but I do want to thank everybody for their bid, and I thank everybody for, and hopefully in the future we'll continue, and if we need to adjust something, we will, but.
And we do appreciate you coming in tonight and
Yeah.
speaking too. I don't want that to go
I would like the,
not.
for next year, you guys to include the sum or tally of the total DBH, so that as contractors, we don't have to do that calculation. I mean, it is on a spreadsheet, so it should have been very simple to auto sum.
I'll do that. And Tony, in
Yeah.
that defense.
That's good.
Which I had you do last year for me after I.
Yeah, you could have asked me to do that and over the phone, and I could have totally
Yeah,
taken, given
I
it to you
understand.
also.
I understand. I just,
I will note the reason we just asked for a flat lump sum, because we didn't want to get into this debate over DBH or this tree's different than that tree. It's just, what's the price, lump sum?
And this is an estimated DBH because it's the inventory Grassmasters did 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, so trees grow. So the DBH might not be exact, the trees were marked, they could have went out and looked at them and measured themselves.
If it's a little bit less, we're not going to deduct. If it's a little bit more, we're not going to add more per DBH per tree. It's a lump sum price for the totality of the project.
Yeah, and even contractors, if they do have input on how to make things more simple, we obviously will listen and see if we can improve our process. There's a lot of, unfortunately, there are a lot of trees to be cut down. So any way to make it process smoother for contractors is,
And next year I will add an estimated DBH total, because like I said,
yeah.
one person might measure here, and one person might measure here, they're both diameter at breast height, it just depends on where you're measuring it.
So last year, where I came in at $2,550, you guys added on an additional $20,000 worth of tree work. Hence why I approved or added the DBH, because otherwise if you do just the lump sum, you know, that's fine, but that's what it is. Lump sum divided by the total DBH is $27 per DBH.
Okay,
So if my calculation, my total inches were the same, my number would have came in lower than Dylan's, roughly $800 and some difference. So if you add on the additional inches that you would like to meet for this year's quote-unquote upper threshold for the removal, like you did last year for me, then he's gonna get it at $27, which is fine. I was just trying to save the taxpayers of Algona the additional money by trying to ask the council to waive, which does state on there, you guys can waive in technicalities, which this would be a mathematical error on my part. But I also feel like it could have been avoided had it been already included at the bottom. I mean,
Okay.
I know
roll
Dylan.
call, Deb. Thank you.
Okay. That's all.
Kathy?
Thank you.
Yes. Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you. Agenda item number 11 then, under new business, this is a resolution pertains to the wastewater treatment facility improvement project.
So this pertains to agenda item number 9, the public hearing that we held a few moments ago on the proposed plan specs, form of contract, the cost estimate. As was discussed at length in previous meetings and mentioned in the public hearing, for improvements to the wastewater treatment plant will extend over 3 construction seasons. There'll be a deadline for the nutrient improvements of October 1, 2025, and then deadline for all construction work on October 1st, 2026. The opinion of probable cost was approximately $19.5 million. So this is a resolution approving the plans, specs, and those other items I mentioned.
Motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second. We have a motion from Rodney, second from Harley. Any other discussion? Roll call, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Don?
Yes.
Kathy?
Oh.
Oh, I already started.
You say yes.
I don't like being first. I like being last.
Motion carried. Thank you. And agenda item number 12 also pertains to the wastewater treatment facility improvement project.
So the bid opening for the project was on March 6th. 2 bids were received from Woodruff Construction and Gridor Construction. Woodruff Construction was the low bid at a price of $28,450,000. The recommendation would be to award the construction contract to Woodruff in that amount.
Move to award.
Second.
A motion from Harley, second from Kathy to award this project. Any other discussion? Roll call, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Agenda item number 13, this is a resolution approving transfer of funds.
Series of kind of accounting exercises with this resolution. So the first 3 are just kind of closing out capital fund accounts that we had for the airport project, the Teats Park Shelter House. The final grant dollars for that have been received, and so we will transfer from loss to cover the balance of that project. The McCoy Street, Phillips Street reconstruction, the utilities, and then the 2028 bond proceeds share to close out that project, so those funds will now go to 0. And then the others pertain to transfer from the ambulance reserve into the ambulance operating fund, and then a transfer of $130,000 to Cassuth County EMS as an initial transfer as part of that asset and transition agreement with Cassuth County for providing EMS countywide. And then the final 2 pertain to sanitary sewer. So from the operating fund, transfer of $900,000 into the sewer reserve fund, which is this kind of our saving account for the big project that we were just discussing. And then a transfer of $275,000 into the equipment replacement reserve, which is based on a replacement schedule for our jetback trucks and vehicles down at the plant to put in there, so when those come due, the funds are set aside.
Motion to approve the resolution for transfers.
Second.
We have a motion from Rodney, second from Don. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Agenda item number 14, this is a resolution approving the union contract agreement.
This resolution approves the proposed agreement between the city and the ASME union, which covers the street department and sewer department full-time employees, which are not part of management. Will be a 3-year agreement effective July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2027.
This agreement was approved by them.
Yep, the union has voted to ratify the agreement, so upon council's approval, we'll get it signed and it'll officially be on the books.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion from Don, second from Kathy to approve the union contract. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Kathy?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 15 is resolution setting a public hearing.
So with the, oops, wrong note. At the last city council meeting, the city approved a donation from the Donald R. Teets Charitable Foundation of approximately 52 acres south of town, property formerly owned by Pack Auction Incorporated. That is outside city limits, so we now need to go through the process of annexing it in to ourselves. So there's a number of notices that need to be published and sent to regional planning authorities, utilities, board of supervisors, and then hold a public hearing. This resolution acknowledges the submission of the application for annexation submitted by the city to the city, and then directs the city clerk to provide notice as required under state law, and then sets a public hearing regarding the annexation for April 15th at 5 p.m.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Rodney, second from Jessica. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Kathy?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 16 is a release of real estate mortgage.
Yes, this is for our property that participated in the 2007 Community Development Block Grant owner-occupied rehabilitation program. All of those participants, a 5-year forgivable mortgage was recorded on the property to cover any costs if they were to leave less than 5 years of some callback of those grant dollars. This is the actually the last house that we have that still has a mortgage from that 2007 project. So this just formally acknowledges and authorizes the release of that mortgage on the property.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley, second from Kathy to release this real estate mortgage. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Kathy?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. And thank you, Davises, for using that community development block grant. So, agenda item number 17 is a request from the First United Methodist Church.
So, have anyone? First United Methodist Church has requested to close down a block of Nebraska Street from Moore Street to Harlan Street there in front of their church. Wednesday, May 22nd, Sunday, July 14th, and Wednesday, September 4th. They're planning to host some neighborhood block parties or picnic events going right now, plans from 3 to 8 p.m. I did share the information with our police chief and street superintendent. Neither of them saw any issues or conflicts with those dates and times, so we would recommend approving their request for the closure. And then we'll coordinate kind of final details on when we put the signs out, alerting people with the police chief.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion from Harley, second from Brad, to approve the street closures. Any discussion?
I just have a question, looking at the map, I know I got that. They're gonna notify those two condo residents that they're gonna be closing the street down there.
We'll make sure they do if it wasn't right in the way. I think they've had a lot of success with the trunk or treat event that they've had in recent years. In my understanding, it's another kind of way for the church to kind of do community-minded events and get people out and about, so.
Any other discussion?
Oh, I just wondered, in the future, if they would consider, there is a parking lot west of them, but I know that a lot of times there's cars in. And the Carnegie is just kitty corner, I mean, that would be a good location for them to use also.
Well,
So,
I think, Harley, the attendees, they probably figure they're gonna park at the parking lot and then attend the event in the street.
mhm.
And it's just convenient at the street because it's right outside the church
Yeah.
proper. They don't have to haul stuff a half a block and
Yeah,
everything.
I can understand that, it's just certain events, you do have a park right there, I mean, the Carnegie is available, so they might consider that, but that's up to them.
Then we can make those suggestions and work with them to tweak the final plans. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay, vote please, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Donnie?
Yes.
Motion carried. And our final agenda item, number 18, this is final notification and appointment for the Board of Adjustment, and Joe Hauptman's term did expire on the 28th of January, and he has agreed to be reappointed. So I would entertain a motion to reappoint Joe to the Board of Adjustment.
So moved.
We have a motion from Rodney, second from Don. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. And thank you, Joe, for agreeing to extend your service in that capacity. So it is 5:34, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn our regular city council meeting.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.